to go live, and so now I need to get back to where I can figure out if we're recording. Let me see. Done. Redirecting to YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Paul Sugarman. This is the Instant Shakespeare Company. I'm just trying to get my device to work the way I want it to. And hi, yeah, I'm Paul Sugarman. Welcome. This is the Instant Shakespeare Company. And today we have an open forum talking about, some of Shakespeare's wisdom, some of his greatest quotes, greatest things that can inspire us and teach us to live. And also we'll have some of the great speeches. And we've got a couple of people here who will also contribute a few speeches. So, I just I'm just sort of as an opening, just want to say that this is about Shakespeare is just got so much to offer in so many different sorts of ways. I mean, there's lots of great speeches and things, but there's also just lots of wisdom just from a lot of quotes, and there are a lot of quotes that are very meaningful to me. One of my favorites is from Measure for Measure. Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. And I mean, I think there's a lot of just other really pearls of wisdom in there, and I'll be happy to hear yours and to share some. But we have with us Geraldine Sackler and Steve Capra, who will be sharing and joining in the discussion. I think I'm sorry if it's Geraldine or Jerrylyn.
Geraldine, you got
I always.
it right. It's Geraldine. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Geraldine. Okay. Great.
Okay. So I have a very unheroic, uninspiring, but wonderful and kind of wise Shakespeare. This is Falstaff. Well, 'tis no matter. Honor pricks me on. Yea, but how if honor prick me off when I come on? How then? Can honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Or take away the grief of a wound? No. Honor hath no skill in surgery then? No. What is honor? A word. What is in this word? Honor. What is honor? Air. Trim reckoning. Who hath it? He that died a Wednesday. Doth he feel it? No. Doth he hear it? No. 'Tis insensible then? Yea, to the dead. But will it not live with the living? No. Why? Detraction will not suffer it. Therefore, I'll none of it. Honor is a mere scutcheon, and so ends my catechism.
That's great. I'm sorry, I can't applaud because I'm holding my phone. But yeah, it's great. And I love Falstaff. That's in the first part of Henry IV. I mean, it's actually in the battle, I believe, as people are doing
while he's fighting.
Heroic things, and fighting and avoiding fighting, and
saying this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
This nationalism stuff is bullshit. Yeah.
It is. And as always, it's still very, very relevant. Apropos. That is one of the things that's really so remarkable about Shakespeare, is that we can find, we can feel the connections to our everyday life, So.
Well, wonderful. I'm going to have to go back to walking around the garden.
Okay. Well, enjoy your garden walk, and thanks for joining us. And yeah, we've got lots of stuff to talk about, but that's great. So thank you so much, Geraldine.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Steve. Geraldine. Good night. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Steve, did you have something you wanted to share? Geraldine, you're still here. Should I make her leave?
Yes.
I should. Let me just. Why is it not letting me do this? Oh, wait, now. Okay. Nothing personal, Geraldine, but I'm removing you.
Enjoy your walk.
Yes. Once, well, you will not be able to rejoin the webinar, but sorry, but you were done what you were going to do, so that's all right. So sorry. So
Yeah. I won't tell you what this is from. I will be immediately identifiable. Too easy for you, Paul.
okay.
A reason, not the need. Our basest beggars are in the poorest thing superfluous. Allow not nature more than nature needs. Man's life's as cheap as beasts. Thou art a lady, if only to go warm were gorgeous. Why, nature needs not what thou gorgeous wearest, which scarcely keeps thee warm. But for true need, oh, you heaven, give me patience, patience I need. You see me here, you gods. A poor old man as full of grief as age, wretched in both. If it be you that stirs these daughters' hearts against their father, fool me not so much to bear it tamely. Touch me with noble anger, and let not women's weapons, water drops, stain my man's cheeks. No, you unnatural hags. I will have such revenge on you both that all the world shall. I will do such things. What they are, yet I know not, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. You think I'll weep. No, I'll not weep. I have full cause of weeping. But this heart shall break into 100,000 flows, or ere I'll weep. Oh, fool, I shall go mad.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, from Lear to his daughters. And
Unnatural hags.
yeah, that was, I mean, Lear was my mother's favorite play. Uh, because I mean, for many reasons, but one of what she loved to use quotes for it, and one of them was that she always loved to use was "reason, not the need."
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
reason,
excellent.
not
Yeah.
yeah, because it's like don't just
You know,
it's
it's interesting.
necessary. Don't need to reason it. Yeah.
Lear is criticized, for one thing, because the subplot is so much like the main plot. And then there are people who say that Shakespeare's knows how to structure a play well when he wants to, and his subplots often are so obscure that we don't know what they have to do with the main plot. So Shakespeare is doing something expressionist that we don't understand.
Hmm. I mean, it's because it's there's the plays. I mean, even though they're like in very widely in how long they are from Comedy of Errors to Hamlet in terms of that, but there's always, I mean, like some sort of complications and other sorts of things that come up in them. And but for me, for Lear, I think it works so well because I feel that both of the storylines are very fully realized. And there's just so many. I mean, everybody, I mean, Hamlet has got like all of the lines that everybody knows, but there's a lot of great wisdom, I think, in Lear that people um, don't. I mean, one of my other favorite quotes from there is when he's talking about I've taken too little care of this, you know, that he realizes he hasn't done a good job of looking after his people. And I think one of his quotes that I really like is that distribution should undo excess and each one have enough. which for me is like just the simplest and clearest sort of reason of like why we have to have taxation, you know.
Yes, 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 yes.
And we're doing a really poor job these days of distributing that excess, because we're now just at the all pretty much victims of the super rich. So
Yes. From each according to his means, to each according to his need.
mhm. Yeah, well, you say that and it's like, well, that's Karl Marx. But if you say distribution should undo excess and each one have enough, that's Shakespeare. And the
Right.
conservatives love Shakespeare as well, you know.
Yes.
That is one of the things that I really do appreciate and I really do welcome. I haven't had that many people who are really conservative who've been involved, but there are some, and it's always welcome, you know, because it does. I mean, I think that it's part of why Shakespeare endures is that he had to really navigate a very fine line to be talking about what life was like, but without being too explicit about
Mhm.
what was going on, because there were other playwrights who got into serious trouble. I mean, we
Yes.
don't even have the play anymore. The was it Isle of Dogs, I think, and there were several who got. I mean, they were in prison for a while, and then it was all copies were destroyed, and but so Shakespeare. I mean, he was able to write. Uh, I mean, about wars and things, and in ways that a lot of people, I mean, like with Henry V, there's a lot of stuff that you can see as being very patriotic, you know, and as Laurence Olivier did in World War II, and what he'd done. What I really love, though, about that as well was that it sort of grew out of what he'd done, sort of touring, performing Henry V for the troops, you know, and there is that, but there is always also um, the other perspective. I mean, one of the things in Henry V that I really love is the scene when Harry's disguised and he comes upon the three soldiers, you know, who are just talking about, yeah, this is probably it. We're probably going to die tomorrow, and they're bitching about the king and all of that. And I mean, I think that is just part of. I mean, that he's not afraid. I mean, that you can find voices from all levels of society, which is what I think is so remarkable, and I think why it still endures. Which is also why I think all of the ideas of him having actually been a nobleman, I just don't think he would have had the as much perspective into the other classes if he'd been someone of the nobility.
The other thing about Lear is that even scholars say some of the stuff that the fool says is so incomprehensible that we'll never understand what it means. I find
Mhm.
that very difficult. It's when Shakespeare goes so far as to enjoy the sounds of the words without being careful that it's, to one degree or another, translatable, discernible.
Mhm. Hmm. I mean, there are, and it is very interesting because there are two different texts of Lear. I mean, that we usually don't see because we usually get the edited version, which combines the quarto and the folio, just as they do with Hamlet. And but I mean, people are more aware of that, I think, with Hamlet. But Lear also has some of those differences, and there's also some of. I mean, that yeah, with footnotes where it's like we don't get it now, but it might have been something that people had understood then. You know,
That's
there's,
something else. That's something else, yeah.
but I mean, of course, yeah. Well, and maybe that's also part of the appeal of Shakespeare. There is some of it that we're not going to understand. You know, that there's there and that, but that also because of that it's open to a lot of different interpretations, you know, and different views, and also I think it's interesting in terms of like other things. For me, one of my favorite quotes that I really live by is there's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so,
Yes.
which is a really wonderful thing. And what is also so interesting about that is that it's just in the folio. It's not in the quarto.
One of the best quotes from Hamlet, yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Do you
no,
have a,
because
do you have a piece you're going to do?
yeah. Let's see, what should I do? Oh, um, I'll do the well, I've done that a lot. Prologue from Henry V. Let me what else could I do? I could do um let's see. There's something that really does it for me. I have blah, blah, blah. It's I do have actually a lot to pick from, so I'm just trying to think of something that is apropos. Um,
Of A Midsummer, almost like
ah,
Midsummer Night.
yes, it is. It is. Ah, let's. I'll do like Oberon's one of his speeches. My gentle Puck, come hither. Thou rememberest, since once I sat upon a promontory and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath that the rude seas grew civil at their sound, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music. That very time I could see, but thou couldst not, Cupid, all armed. A certain aim he took at a fair vestal throned by the west, and loosed his love shaft smartly from the bow, as it should pierce 100,000 hearts. Yet I might see young Cupid's fiery shaft quenched in the chaste beams of the watery moon, and the imperial votaress passed on in maiden meditation, fancy free. Yet marked I where the bolt of Cupid fell. It fell upon a little western flower, before milk white, now purple with love's wound. And maidens call it love in idleness. Fetch me this flower, the herb I showed thee once. The juice of it, on sleeping eyelids laid, will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Fetch me this herb ere the Leviathan can swim a league. Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep and drop the liquor of it in her eye. The next thing she waking looks upon, be it ounce or cat or bear, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I can take the charm off as I can with another herb, I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I'm invisible and will overhear their conference.
That's wonderful.
Oh,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Nothing like Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, it is. It's such a glorious play.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Before we leave, do you see what's on my wall?
Yes, a Shakespeare,
I think
a
that's from
portrait.
Catherine Avon. And I think you gave me this 20 years ago, 25 years ago. You
Oh, what
said
I on my phone I can't really let me just
it's advice to the players.
ah oh
Yeah.
yeah no I did from the folio.
Yes,
Yes,
right. So
yes.
very, very cool. I still appreciate that.
Oh yes, yes. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, Shakespeare, he was not of an age, but for all time.
Ah,
You
yes.
know, and
Ben Jonson?
yes, that's from the folio. They actually were reading some of that and using it. I was up this Sunday at they had a memorial service for Tina Packer up at Shakespeare and Company, because she was the founder of that. And I mean,
Yeah.
I'd gone there, and I mean, she taught and directed me in Martin and things. And so she was just such an amazing teacher. And just everybody was talking about just her sort of incredible energy, and just the sort of how she would inspire people to do stuff. And there were some fun quotes, and they one of the things that one of them had said was that she'd been doing a fundraiser, and she was doing a Ophelia speech about, oh, what a noble mind is here our throne, and I that have sucked the money instead of honey.
Ooh, ooh, that's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. It's like, I don't it sounds like it wasn't intended, but it just sort of slipped out as she's trying to raise money to say, I've sucked the money.
It's in the very aurum, I guess.
Yes. And yeah, because it's also, I mean, because so much of what Shakespeare and Company is really founded on is the principles of training and teaching and performing, and really Shakespeare. I mean, they did. Somebody there said that, yeah, Tina really believes Shakespeare for everyone. So, which is, as you know, sort of our motto for Instant Shakespeare.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for putting this together.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining. It was really great to have you, since you were one of the people from the very first season.
How many years ago was that? This,
This is our 27th season. So
ooh, oh
yeah,
God, I actually underestimated it. Holy smoke.
yeah, I know. 2000. That was when we did it. Those 12 days. But
Excellent. Okay,
great.
thanks for all your work.
Okay, thank you. Thanks so much.
Let's
Um,
see.
let me
Uh,
just before I s- let me I'm just gonna stop the live stream. But yeah, the Instant Shakespeare Company believes that Shakespeare is for everyone. And if you want to participate in any of our Shakespeare readings, either on Zoom or in person, please email us at instantshakespeare@gmail.com. I'm Paul Sugarman with Instant Shakespeare, and we've got a whole bunch of things coming up, including an in-person reading of King John on this Saturday at the Columbus Library, 742 10th Avenue in New York City. And next the Saturday the 13th, we will be reading the third part of Henry VI on Zoom, which has many, many characters. So if you want to join, you can do that.